Hey there, welcome to Unit 5, Lesson 7, which is going to be our last unit on the Civil War. So basically, today's focus is going to be you looking at some major things that Lincoln had to say, which is why you get my Bitmoji standing in front of the mic. Like, these are major proclamations and speeches that he had to say, and then you're going to analyze those decisions. That's going to bring this to an end. We'll talk more about like the assassination of Lincoln and then what happens after the Civil War in our last unit when we start that next week. So today's agenda, what you're going to do is you're going to analyze Lincoln's words, do that assignment. Then you need to make sure that you finish up your interactive notebook. The last page to fill in for the interactive notebook was actually yesterday. So you should be able to have that completed and then submit that. And then task number 3 is for you to, again, work on any missing assignments that you might have or review for the test, because the test is in 2 days. And then it's going to be your last test, because your final for this class is actually a project on Lincoln's assassination, not a actual like test to take. So we want to make sure we go out with a strong test. So let me go through and show you what you're going to be doing. So you're going to come down on Unit 5, Lesson 7 and go to, oops, that's the same thing I was just at. Let me get back here. Task number 1, where it says analyzing Lincoln's words. So there's going to be some documents that you are going to open up. It is very important that you actually listen to me and read these documents, or none of this is going to make sense. They are not difficult to read. They are not difficult to understand, and they are not very long. So you need to read the Gettysburg Address. Like, see, that's the whole thing. Everybody would think that this long speech that everybody pays attention to is going to be a big, like, long thing. It's not long. This is it. So you're going to read the Gettysburg Address. Then you are going to read the Emancipation Proclamation. To emancipate means to free. So this is the statement, the proclamation, that slaves in the Confederate states would be free. That's really important for you to know. Slaves that were in the states that did not break away from the Union, like Missouri, for example, those slaves were still enslaved. It was only the slaves that were in those Confederate states that were freed with the Emancipation Proclamation. So you're going to read this proclamation. Again, it's not very long. It's like a page and a half, if that, right? So a page and a half. Then what you're going to do, and this is why it's important, you've got to read that information. Then what you're going to do is start looking at some different documents. And when you're looking at these documents, they're going to either link back to the Emancipation Proclamation or to the Gettysburg Address. So that takes me to the worksheet that you're going to be filling in here. So let's open this up. So you're going to see part 1 says to read those different items. Then part 2 says to identify which speech each primary source document refers to, and then describe the message of the source in the table. So you're going to tell me, by looking at this document, is it something that came because of the Emancipation Proclamation or the Gettysburg Address? And then what is the message? What am I looking at with this document? So for example, this very first one, you can tell just by looking, you see the giant words like emancipation in the background. So you can tell this is going to be one that deals with the Emancipation Proclamation, and you would put that right here. Then for the message of the document, you are going to analyze and look at what we're seeing and tell me, like, what is this message? What is this cartoon that you are looking at actually showing? Then you're going to do the same thing for document B. Tell me what it goes to. What is its message? Document C, document D, you get the point. So you're going to go through and do that with each of these documents. And then once you're done filling this in, you are going to do part 3. So part 3 is that after you have read the Gettysburg Address and the Emancipation Proclamation and analyze those primary sources, you need to thoroughly answer this question that's in the box. Which of these words from Lincoln do you think had a bigger impact? Which one was more important, the Gettysburg Address or the Emancipation Proclamation? And then you need to tell me why. You have to be thorough. I'm looking for multiple sentences here to give me a good understanding that you really see the importance of these words that came from Lincoln. Once you're done with that, obviously continue working on any missing work that you might have. And we're going to move forward and start preparing for the test. And I will see you guys next time. Bye, y'all.